talk about some city activities here in Charlotte because we've got city leaders once again discussing some of the big topics and, of course, discussing policy. One of the items that we've seen resurface a few times at this point recently has to do with vendors. So our Julie Kay has been keeping an eye on all of the discussions surrounding this. And tonight, Julie, you're working on a piece for us that will pertain to this push to try to change the vendor policies and or expand them to a different neighborhood. Is that right?
Yes. So tonight we have public forum at City Council, which can be a really long experience.
Yeah.
And so I always like to go and pick out and see, what are some of the topics that are coming up again and again. And what we keep seeing is these street vendors. But
Yeah.
I know that program, we've talked about a lot, has been expanded into NOTA. So it's a pilot program that requires a registration for people that are selling things on the sidewalk, out in front of businesses. Prior to that, there was really no registration required. It also bumps up the fee for a violation from, I believe the cap was $50 prior to this. Now it's up to $500. So that's a big jump, more in line with other cities of this size, and that's why it was such a massive jump. But now businesses in South End are speaking out and asking City Council to expand that program faster. The goal was to, if this goes well, make this potentially even a city-wide thing. But South End businesses are telling me they can't wait that long. They can't wait any longer than right now.
So are you getting the feel that this is a health concern? Is this a safety concern? Is this a financial concern maybe for, like, what are you hearing from all of the stakeholders, if you will, in this discussion?
All of the above. And I think that's a big piece of it too. I've done this story quite a few times out in NOTA, and it sounds like South End, they're really worried about just the health regulations. There's not really a system set up to check that. Under the NOTA vendor program, they work more closely with the county health department to get those checks. And so that's what they want here. Also, they're worried about safety things I wasn't thinking about in terms of, for example, some of these food trucks have like propane tanks. The things that they're cooking with, these are fire hazards. He said that last year, I spoke with the owner of Paisa. It's a pizza place on one of those main strips in South End. He said there was a fire outside their building last year. And so he's concerned about something like that happening again. But also, as you said, economic reasons. We have had multiple businesses in South End close over the last few months. They, at Paisa, have only been open for, I believe, less than 2 years now, and they said that this is becoming an increasingly bigger problem, that they're worried. The reason some of these businesses are closing is because they have competitors that are kind of taking over the street.
Very interesting. And I mean, I remember, it was probably a couple weeks ago that the health department even put out an alert telling folks to just be mindful of the fact that there could be some vendors out there operating without licenses or inspections that are required by the county. And they were even asking folks, I don't want to say even like a bounty, but just like report it, right?
Yeah, if you see something, say something. I know in particular that intersection, it's right next to Vinyl. The owner of Vinyl was there as well to support this mission. It gets very busy, and there's a really large pizza truck that sets up right there pretty much every weekend night. He says he calls it the South End State Fair, with how busy it gets, especially after those bars close. And that's when he says they're kind of taking most of those customers, which he said competition is good. He's not opposed to street vendors. He just wants it to be safe and done in a way that everyone can, operate and keep going.
Yeah. Now, at this point, is this merely a discussion, or have we seen any city leaders basically saying, oh, I'm open to this, or is it not that far along at this point?
So interesting, because this was kind of the goal, was to expand this program. There was no timeline on how quickly that would be expanded, so I'm curious in the coming days if we get some more information on that. According to them, they have not gotten much response at all from city leaders. They've reached out to council people, they've reached out to other leaders. He says the only ones who have responded, the fire department once went on a walkthrough with them at night, because that's what they're offering, is saying, come with us, we will show you at 2 in the morning when this gets really crowded on a weekend what this looks like. But he says in order for there to be actual enforcement of that, it would need to come from city government, and that's why they're speaking at public forum tonight to hopefully kind of force some answers here.
Very interesting. Anything else you think might be of interest tonight? Because we see it in our preview here, our monitor that we're watching off to the side, the feed. They're going right now. They're speaking. We can see City Council talking right now.
Yeah, we've got the rest of public forum, a couple zoning, hearings. I think what will be interesting now is we're under that new meeting format. And so at the end of every meeting, there's that up to an hour where you get to bring up whatever you want and hopefully get something put on the agenda in the future. So I'll be curious to see what comes of that, because I know Edwin Peacock has discussed wanting to bring up the stabbing from this weekend, demanding some answers on that front. So I think that this will be an interesting council meeting that maybe not on the agenda, but I think in that hour-long period afterwards, we'll get some thoughts that I think are going to be on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, thinking about what happened to that young woman, I mean, definitely curious to hear more about that situation and if the city has a response to that, maybe on a more formal standpoint, policy-wide.
Sounds like per Jeb that they're actually talking about that now. It sounds like, so maybe we should head back to the
All right,
the
yeah.
meeting.
So let's do it. Let's listen in, folks. Right now, that discussion is actually happening as we speak at the Charlotte City Council meeting.
Queen City Arts Festival. Thank you.
Ms. Brown.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Mayor. That is a good festival. It's not in my district, but I always go. And I like being up there on the water. So shout out to Tommy Nichols, who's doing a great job with that festival. And people come in from all over the city. I want to go back to our youth. One, this young man is still here. Let me see. It's Zach, correct? I just want to say thank you so much, Zach. I really connect with the youth. I'm forever young. I claim that. And but what you said, your knowledge of policy and what we can do or what we can try to do, a good example of making good trouble. And so I just want to say thank you so much, and I want to acknowledge you again for addressing us and bringing the Dillon Rule to the council for us to reimagine and rethink that. So thank you so much for that. I had that on here, and I sent you your picture, so thank you. Thank you. It means a lot to me to hear that from you. And our young people are truly our future and our leaders. And so think about coming on down this way, okay? Really, truly. The $3 million that, Madam Mayor, the $3 million that we're being, using to get out the word for the transit, I'm just asking, that's a question that I'm asking that.
Of city money?
No, not city money, no. Is it MEC something?
Sorry.
Yes, Mac, the Alliance.
Oh, the MEC, the Alliance is
Yes,
doing
I
it.
don't, not
Yes,
the
they
city,
have,
that's why
yeah.
I'm asking for clarification.
Right. It is from the,
Okay. Right, so some of
Alliance.
my constituents, as they're coming out to the polls and people are asking about how it's being used and where, I'm not sure if we know, but when money comes out, people don't know if it's differentiated through the city,
I know.
county, we all get
You're
misconstrued, so I
right
just
about
want to try to
that.
get the clarification
Yeah, very
on it.
clearly.
But a lot of them have concerns, which my colleagues have already expressed, about transit riders, the workers, and just the violence that come with that. So we could kind of address that. I don't know how we would address that, but that's something that I would like to address. And then I wanted to go back to the city manager with, I've been advocating for the animal shelter to be over. So can you explain that, talk about that, general services, and what that looks like? Do you mind? Or you want?
No, that's
Okay.
sure. Thank you, Councilmember Brown. So one of the things we found out by moving animal care and control from CMPD to general services, it was very difficult going through CMPD's processes to even foster animals. So that was step one, trying to make sure that it's a lot easier for the general public to engage. The other thing that we're doing is, I think it's an investment of about $30 million to build out a new adoption center. I think that's the best way to describe it. As well as we continue to evolve, trying to find ways to make sure that the experience is a better experience for all of those who are involved. So we're spending time with Dr. Fisher, we're spending time
Yes,
with this.
Dr. Fisher is amazing,
Right.
yes.
Yes, with this transition to, provide for better opportunities.
Okay, thank you so much, that's a start.
Good.
They are really, that group, that tribe,
Yeah.
the people that support the animal shelter, they show up and they show out. So thank you for just hearing us, not just me, because other council members had that initiative as well, but that's something that they've been pounding on. So I think it's a great start
Great.
in the right direction. So I think Dr. Fisher and his team and the animal lovers of those little creatures, they'll be happy about that. I want to go back to the gang violence. There's there's a couple of young people that I know that have died in the city recently. I'll be attending, I think, a funeral this week. And in addition to me attending the homegoing celebration and funeral services, the gang violence is very, very concerning. Not only is they've lost somebody, but then the retaliators are going back to the house and still initiating gun violence while the loved ones are trying to prepare for someone that they've lost. That was brought to my attention this week. It's not in my district, but it's in our city, so it affects all of us. And so anything that we can do, I know that we got the Katie Blessing Center coming, and I'm so excited about that. And how we can
It opened this week.
Yes, it opened this week? I thought it was gonna be next week. Is this week?
No, it just opened.
Okay, it's just open, okay, so that's awesome. That's good stuff. Was it, I didn't even know. Did we do a
Yeah.
ribbon cutting or anything?
I think
long
they,
time
a
ago.
long time
A long time ago we did,
yeah,
okay.
but they just had, I think, an opening today, or this
Real
week.
opening or soft opening?
I think it was a real one.
A real opening, okay, all right, no problem. So that young lady, her mom was here, Shyla Nordon. I just want her to know that we do hear her loud and clear, and we are very concerned about the violence with our youth. But I think the more activities that we have for our youth, the more that we are engaged with them and involved with them and put people in front of them that can identify, according to data and metrics, some of the things that they've been through, we'll be able to address that. And of course, West Boulevard. You and I have been talking about West Boulevard for a long time. If we can do that drive down West Boulevard from one end to the other, because I can tell you about West Boulevard, what it used to be and what it is now, and how I'm concerned about all of my district, all of District 3, but West Boulevard has been, if we can reimagine West Boulevard looking like Patersford Road. And a bank on West Boulevard would just change the whole trajectory of what West Boulevard could be and what it could look like. We care about West Boulevard, the small businesses over there, so I would like to do that ride with you. I know we prolonged it, but after September the 9th, can we schedule the ride? Because I'm busy at the phones. I got some work to do. And last but not least, Tyler, the South End vendors, we do care. We hear you loud and clear. Some of those concerns cannot be addressed and fixed overnight. But when we get an email and we respond to it, doesn't mean that we don't care. We have 10 other amazing people that sit on this council, and we have to collaborate, because I have one vote, even though it's in my district, and I'm trying to get people to understand that. I can lead the charge and lead a project, but I still have to get my colleagues on board to support it, because we still need 5 other votes with mine, District 3. I love y'all, but I still need 5 other votes. So that concern is something I know that they want the pallet to be launched, but we have to look at the specifications of NODA versus the specifications of South End to see how we can make those work together like a puzzle, and it don't always work that way
Absolutely right.
because of regulations and different things like that. So Tyler, we hear you. South End, we hear you. We care about you just like we care about NODA. Just have a little bit of patience for us, and we'll work through it for you. That's all that I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think that everyone has had the opportunity, so I think there's opportunity for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and second, and all in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, thank you very much, all of you. I think this is working better for us, so that people, I think especially to communicate with each other, we're learning a lot. Thank you all. For this, we will see you.
All right, so there you have it, folks. Discussion wrapping up for now at Charlotte City Council. We actually want to take you back earlier into the meeting because we obviously heard our Julie Kay talking about some of the public comments that were brought up, including on this vendor regulation discussion. So we wanted to kind of take you back and give you an idea of what some of those folks were saying. So once again, just keep in mind, this was the Charlotte City Council meeting from today, but really just a few moments ago. We're just rolling the tape back. So with that, let's go ahead and turn to that recording.
First time here in Charlotte. So we thank you all for inviting us tonight to be able to speak on behalf of the Miss Juneteenth pageant. All the the Miss Juneteenth pageant is over. Miss Juneteenth has passed. Our mission as Miss Juneteenth queens and coordinators still goes on, right? So, let me see here. These remarkable young ladies were chosen from a group of 14 girls ranging from the ages of 5 to 18. They have taken up on the movement to stepping into a year of leadership, service, and personal growth. It is more than a pageant title, that is. Our queens are actively involved in community outreach efforts, making a lasting impact through education, empowerment, and volunteering. They are eager to contribute to any initiatives or events that the City of Charlotte will be hosting. This year, we proudly awarded scholarships to participants in our 13 to 18-year-old categories, reinforcing our commitment to education and empowerment. We invite the Charlotte City Council and the community to encourage, uplift, and recognize our Juneteenth queens as they continue their 2025 journey. Your support will affirm their efforts and inspire the next generation of confident, empowered leaders in our community. Looking ahead, we are excited to announce that we will be hosting our next Miss Juneteenth pageant here in Charlotte the first week of June 2026. Thank you. We welcome the community, collaborators, sponsorships, and engagement as we prepare for an even greater celebration of heritage, excellence, and youth empowerment. Let's continue the spirit of Juneteenth, investing in the future of our young girls. Now I present to you all, you want more?
Okay,
You present.
go ahead.
Okay.
We're going to...
Now I present to you all the first time our Miss Juneteenth queens. We have in my hands Miss Riley for our petite category. Say hi.
Okay. All right, that's all right. Okay. And
Who we have not here today, Little Miss Trinity Steve. And we have our young Miss London Hillman. Hi, London. Our junior Miss Jordan.
hello.
And lastly, our Miss Juneteenth Queen, Nevaeh Higdon. She is currently away attending Shawwan University to become not only the first official Juneteenth Queen to attend the college, but the first in her family history to attend a college. She is majoring in psychology. Their presence brings energy, purpose, and deep commitment to making a positive impact.
And
we thank you.
Thank you. We thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much, and we are excited to hear what your next steps will be. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
All right. I want to make sure that while we have the Juneteenth pageant, we understand that the remaining of you will have 3 minutes to speak. So with that in case, let's go, 2 minutes to speak. And so let's begin with economic development with Jacqueline McGee. Ms. McGee. Thank you.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jacqueline McGee. I'm the owner of My Story Cafe. I opened the cafe in 2022 in the French Quarters. At least that's how we refer to it, as the French Quarters. Everything was absolutely beautiful.
You might want to get a little bit closer to the mic. Yes, so that we can hear you clearly.
Okay. I have an accent. But I noticed security or safety was going down, was declining a little bit in the French Quarters. And knowing me, I am always looking for the next best thing. The next best thing turned out to be on January 7th of this year, I got a contract with the Spectrum Center to open a cafe/coffee shop. Now that's history, because there's no such thing that exists in the country. There's no cafe in a sporting arena in the country, so this is history. We've created history here in North Carolina, really and truly. But let me hit, I'll come back to that, but I want to hit on affordability. As a small business owner, we cannot afford the rent that the bigger businesses can afford. As a matter of fact, they can afford the security. We can't afford security. I'm struggling to have the amount of employees that I need to have. So my ask is rent affordability. What do I have here? You know, the ability for us to be able to afford the rent, especially uptown. We are giving to the community. All I'm asking is that the community give back to small businesses. We are the backbone of any city, any county, any state. We are the backbone. I have to say this, that the French Quarters has lost its best kept secret by me having to leave there and go over to the Spectrum Center for safety for myself. I'm a single woman running a business in a place that's mostly drinking. I had a federal judge that would come to my...
Thank you very much. We can, if you would like to give us a written statement to the city clerk, that would be really good. And I think that we'll have talk with Allison to actually help work through the remainder of your requests. Thank you very much, Ms. McGee. Our next speaker is Peter Galphin. Peter Galphin. All right, our next speaker, if Mr. Galphin is not in, our next speaker is Mahendra Rathore.
Good evening, Your Excellency, Ms. Mayor, council members, and everybody here. I'm here to give voice to the voiceless this afternoon. I've been a resident of Charlotte for last several years, since 1999. And the point I want to really make here today before the August audience is really that we are expanding in terms of our population, in terms of our development, industry, residential development, but are we also giving voice to the voiceless, the abandoned, the forgotten, and the rescue animals of Charlotte? And you have done, madam, excellent job. You are really one of the foremost mayor of this country, and I'm here to appeal to you to do a little extra for the animals. So here are a couple of my suggestions for you. That we have to develop a systematic vision for the animals' welfare and care. And our city's current shelter is single, overburdened facility near the airport. It's doing a great job. We commend everyone there. But operating at a max capacity and leading a tragic outcome, the location itself is a significant barrier for the resident to drive all the way and care for the animals and also volunteer. So I'm here not asking for charity, but for your leadership to really consider making micro centers all across the city, maybe 4 centers in each direction, east, west, south, and north, so residents can get involved, children can get involved. On the weekends, people can go and contribute as volunteers and care for those animals. I also have a small suggestion that major parks of the city, we can host some sort of satellite mini shelters, making animal care visible, local, and accessible, where children can walk shelter dogs after school, senior can feed the rescued animal on the weekends, and corporation can also adopt the kennels, sponsor wellness drives, and fund adoption events for our pets. I'm also Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want you to know that your time speaking is really timely because we are talking about how to redo our shelters with the animals. And so I think, Liz, would you be helpful in getting some additional information and some of the ideas that you've talked about? So thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
Mayor.
really appreciate it.
Appreciate everyone. Thank you for the invitation.
Our next speaker is Fred Money. I hope I said that correctly.
He's not here.
Great money.
Fred Money. Is he here? All right. Our next speaker is Cortez Washington. Mr. Washington? Is Mr. Washington here? All right. Our next speaker is Christopher Scott. Christopher Scott. Our following speaker is Caretha Blunt. All right. Justin Perry. I think I saw Justin. Yes, there's Justin. Okay, now I know. Thank you very much, Justin, for coming. Come on down. You have 2 minutes.
I'm trying to trim down from 3 minutes.
Well, you can always come back another day.
All right.
Good to see you.
Good to see you all as well. Good evening. 10 years ago, a group named One MEC took a multifaceted approach to address school resegregation, first getting CMS to reprioritize economic diversity and student assignment, while knowing we could not go back to the busing program that I had when I grew up here. We challenged not only CMS, but said we would need support in developing mixed-income housing and needing help from the city, the philanthropic faith communities, as well as the county. That's right, the county, who forever disengaged from housing, with some of us helping to flip long-held seats, decided to engage in housing. A subgroup of us met with commissioners and the county manager and encouraged them to take the land they own near Greer Heights and DSS toward Eastover and to develop affordable housing, including that in the 30% AMI range instead of selling it to developers. They're now in partnership with DreamKey developing mixed-income rental and ownership units while having a county manager who was wanting to pursue affordable housing and address mobility even more assertively. We help create and lead the Color of Law community read, encouraging houses of faith to step up in tackling our housing crisis while addressing other issues like source of income discrimination. One of our members, Tom Hanchett, has written a book, Affordable Housing in Charlotte, What One City's History Tells Us About America's Pressing Problem. Unlike others, it's a Charlotte-specific book chronicling the ebbs and flows of working to tackle housing in Charlotte with a focus on the role government can do and leaning into it. He's given the clerk a copy of for all of you to read, as well as a packet to go with that reading. We're partnering with the library, the foundation, Houses of Faith, and other members of the community to write the next chapter of our story. We're inviting you to read the book, take the packet, and partner with us in shifting the paradigm of this community while taking substantive steps to create and keep affordable housing in every district here in Charlotte. An event will take place early in 2026 at the Carolina Theater as we are committed to moving from forums to focused action in housing not only the 157 new people moving here that we always hear about, but as well as the longtime members who've always been here and build this community into a world-class city we say we want to be. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. And for those with you, thank you very much. So our next speaker is Jacob Kraminski. I hope I got it close to correct.
It was close, yeah.
Well, you know, some days. If you give them to the clerk.
Good evening, Mayor and council members and Charlotte residents. My name is Jacob Kraminski, and I'm here to share a solution to transform our 311 call line and make it smarter, more accessible, and more cost-effective for every resident here in Charlotte. A personal experience of mine inspired this idea, and I believe it can make Charlotte a leader in 311 innovation. I'm 24. I work for a bank here in Charlotte and their Treasury Department, and this is my first time presenting to the City Council. A few months ago, my girlfriend's car got towed, and it was a bit of a stressful situation because we weren't sure if it was stolen or towed. We called the 311 line. After a long hold, we had to call 911. In that situation, we had multiple calls back and forth, and the operator kindly helped us, although it did seem like she had dealt with this situation before. The police did have to come, and then we ended up finding the car 15 minutes down the road. I started utilizing some of my free time to build out an automation call line. My dad helped me, who has startup experience across the nation and is a computer scientist. In similar trials, we've seen response times get cut by 30% when adopting strategies like this. It also is built for Charlotte's growth using a cloud-native infrastructure that can handle 10,000 concurrent users at one time. Right now, the prototype is built and it has a modular design that can be integrated into all of our city's databases. For example, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department's towing database. Together, I believe we could make Charlotte a model of 311 innovation, and I would love the opportunity to pilot this program in partnership with you in Charlotte.
Thank you.
Thank you for presenting.
Sean Heath is going to help you decide how we can do that. So thank you very much.
Awesome.
All
Thank you.
right.